Westin from the Emily Program Foundation. And in September of 2000, the Eating Disorders Coalition had the very first congressional briefing. And one of the speakers, Susan, had this to say: "The reason I'm standing here before you today is because I'm a fighter. I have fought my insurance company, I have questioned them, have submitted and resubmitted claims, have written letters, and have had my child's therapist do the same. But no matter how hard I fight, it's always a losing battle." In April 2001, Sam Meniged had this to say: "Ironically, our greatest fight in treatment isn't only improving the physical and emotional health of our patients, it is also the constant effort to move our patients' own insurance companies toward a better understanding of eating disorders so they will remove the barriers to effective care." During that same briefing, Mindy talked about her struggle. In the hospitals, the focus was on eating and gaining weight within the time allotted by my insurance company. And in 2002, I was invited to speak at an EDC briefing, and I had this story to tell. 3 months after my daughter Anna died of an eating disorder, my 74-year-old mother, Selena, was diagnosed with an aortic aneurysm. Her aneurysm was leaking, and if it ruptured, she would instantly die. She was airlifted to one of the only hospitals in the country who could perform the surgery, the Mayo Clinic. As soon as the family was assembled, we were told that she had only a 95% chance of living through the surgery, and that was only if they could get the A-team of surgeons together quick enough. She had no chance of survival if the surgery was denied or even delayed. Nobody asked if insurance would authorize that treatment. It was a given that everything possible would be done to save her life. And there would be no delay waiting for insurance authorization. She survived. 3 months before my mom's death, my daughter, Anna Westin, died of an eating disorder. She had an illness that can be successfully treated, yet our insurance company denied the care that would have saved her life. She had a 95 or better chance of surviving, and her treatment was constantly being questioned, denied, and delayed. In 2003, at an EDC briefing, a psychologist came. She titled her speech, "Mission Impossible: Getting Needed Services for Patients." I have experienced the slow and steady deterioration in patients' access to effective life-sustaining care due to increasing limitations imposed by insurance companies. Denial of a treatment plan can cost more than money, it can cost lives. So you get the picture. 13 years later, we're still talking about the same issues, and I'm really frustrated. I've been doing this work for a decade. And yes, we've made progress. We've worked really hard. And it's not happening fast enough, and there's not enough. We worked really hard, and I'm really proud of our work to pass mental health parity in 2008. But 5 years later, we're still waiting for it to be fully implemented. And in the meantime, the insurance companies get to do anything they want. So now we're working really hard to make eating disorders included as part of the essential benefits set in the Affordable Care Act. And as Jillian said recently, the Eating Disorders Coalition, along with the Emily Program, evaluated the state's essential health benefits and found this wide disparity in how eating disorders will be treated. So today, the Eating Disorders Coalition has nearly 100 people from across the United States here to ask our members of Congress to support the entire eating disorders community, including patients and families, providers, educators, and others, because we've come to the conclusion that it will take an act of Congress. It will literally take an act of Congress. So we're asking that those of you who are members of staff to go back and talk to your boss about this. Have the conversation. We need you to ask your member to sign the FREED Act or to sign the letter. We need to get this done. I'm doing my part. I'm here. I'm encouraging others to be here. I'm using my voice. I'm really active in my home state of Minnesota. And I encourage everyone in this room to become active and to stay active. And I often am asked, what can I do? And my best piece of advice is show up. Am I right? It's be here. I showed up. I have spent hundreds of hours going to meetings, offering testimony, talking to decision makers to ensure that eating disorders are included in the benchmark plan that Minnesota chose. And I continue to spend time working on these issues. We were successful in Minnesota. We got a plan that has really good mental health coverage, and it does name residential eating disorder treatment. So we're really proud of that. And we're still really nervous. So, I lost my place here. Okay. It's our job, meaning both the advocates in the room and the members of Congress, to ensure that everybody in every state has access to care. The disparities that have been talked about today, that is not okay. It's not okay for people in Vermont or Minnesota to have access to care and people from other states to be denied that. So the intention of the Affordable Care Act is, and the Essential Health Benefits Package, is to ensure that all individuals are guaranteed health coverage that meets their basic needs. It mandates mental health coverage, and we need to make certain that eating disorders treatment are included in the health plans of each state. So I ask everyone here to get involved. Go to your state website. Look for what they're doing on health care reform. Most states have advisory committees, task forces, agencies. Volunteer to testify at committee meetings or hearings. Meet with your elected representatives. Find out what other organizations are doing and join forces. It is empowering to do that. It's important to do it. Many of you have attended EDC lobby days in the past, and you know that coming to DC is really powerful and has an impact. For the first-time lobbyists, I know that you will have a life-changing experience because showing up makes a difference. To the advocates, I understand what it takes to plan and organize and come to DC. And to the staff, I know that you took time out of your really busy schedules to be here to learn about this, and I'm grateful to everybody in this room. So one last story. Last week, I got a call from my sister letting me know that my dad was in trouble. His health was failing, and he was being taken to the hospital by an ambulance. He will be he will be 91 on April 27th. He was admitted and sent to the critical care unit. Tests show that he had multiple organ failure and that his body was shutting down. And we were told that he would likely not survive, but the medical team would do anything that he and his family asked them to do to help him. Remember, he's 91 years old. He had a heart attack while he was in intensive care. And our family was summoned, and we had a discussion about the options. And Dad was fully involved in these discussions. What is notable about this scenario is that not once was insurance mentioned. Not once did anyone suggest prior authorization was needed before treatment would be started. And not once did anyone suggest that someone at the insurance company got to decide what was going to happen. Our family, along with his treatment team, made those decisions. And isn't that how it should be for everyone?
Absolutely.
We have to keep speaking out. We have to keep the pressure on, and we have to insist that people with eating disorders have access to the life-saving care they need. Thank you.